Welcome to Speak. I'm Joy Taylor, here with Super Bowl champion Keyshawn Johnson, NBA Finals MVP Paul Pierce, Fox Sports NBA senior NBA analyst Slick Rick Bucher.
Rick the ruler in the house.
Rick the ruler.
What's wrong with you, Key?
Slick Rick.
I just want to make sure I'm standing upright, very professional in this manner.
Posture.
Yeah, let me get that right. Let me see. Rick got the arms crossed right here.
We getting corporate Key today?
Yeah, man, you know, I don't want to do something.
Okay, Rickster.
Oh, yeah. Paul, the Knicks lost again.
I told you.
Tell us how that makes you feel
I'm just
in
saying.
one word.
You know what? The Knicks fans, they've been all over my social media, and, I've been trolling them a bit. But
A bit.
Yeah,
A bit.
but I'm saying, and I wouldn't have did it, and they all know the Boston, New York, right? I wouldn't have did it if after they beat Boston, they wasn't running in the streets, jumping on street lights, hanging off billboards like they just did a parade.
In hindsight, it kind of was their parade, right?
Yeah, and that's why I anointed them on social media with a banner called "Beat the Celtics in the second round" with a banner that said that.
You put a banner up?
Yeah. They get a banner. "Beat the Celtics in the second round" banner.
Oh, you got to keep in mind, New York Knicks haven't done anything in a minute.
Not in our lifetime.
So knocking off the defending champions means something to them. You can't be mad at them for that.
Don't run the streets and then harass Indiana fans and all of that. Come on.
You can't say that they should act like they've been there before. They've never been there before.
Exactly.
But it's round 2, though.
But they've never been there before.
If they would have gotten to
Exactly.
the Eastern Conference Final on their way to the NBA
It's not second round.
Right,
You know when you bring someone somewhere and you're like, wow, you've never been here before.
You got to let them know beforehand. Now, act like you've been here before.
Yeah, let's walk you through the process.
Hey, my boy, them is not onion rings. That's calamari.
No, you have it.
Yes.
Hey. I got a story. I'm just going to share it real quick. I had a homie one time, Paul, Joy, Rick, we go to dinner, and the whole thing, read what we want, whatever. You go, man, what's the entree? You think that's going to be good?
Come on. I think that's going to be good. Come on, man.
I just died. Yeah.
What's in the entree?
You gotta let. Sometimes, man, it take a minute though.
Yeah, that's okay.
Take a minute.
Oh, my
yeah,
goodness.
it was
Gotta
good
get
to it.
educated at some point.
Yeah, it was good to
Yeah.
it.
So New York, they just hadn't been there before.
For sure.
They didn't know what an entree was. Tyrese Haliburton led the way last night, putting up historical numbers as the Pacers pushed the Knicks to the brink of elimination. Haliburton had the first ever game with at least 30 points, 10 rebounds, 15 assists, and no turnovers. Indiana took control of the Eastern Conference Finals, heading back to New York, leading the series 3-1. So,
Man.
Paul, this postseason, Haliburton has proved he's a top player in the NBA?
Top 10 easy, though. It's easy. Top 10 player. When I look at the all-NBA list, and I look and I see, Giannis, SGA, Nikola, Joker, Donovan Mitchell, Tatum. Okay, you good with that. Now, I got some questions on the second list because when I look at the players on there, and, individually, when you look at their numbers, they probably deserve to be on there, but I don't look at – I look at what you do for your team and your impact on winning. And that's what I give Haliburton. That's what he doesn't get credit for because his numbers is not going to look the same as Jalen Brunson's on the second team or Steph Curry's or Edwards or LeBron. But look at the impact on his team he's giving them. He is making everybody better. He's bringing a bunch of guys that the casual fan, probably haven't heard of. They have an all-star that people didn't know probably was an all-star in Siakam. He didn't even make the all-star team, Haliburton.
Right.
People forget this guy brought the Indiana Pacers to the conference finals last year and was a three-point shot from Jaylen Brown away from stealing game 1. And if he doesn't get hurt game 2, they probably would have gave Celtics a better run for their money. And a healthy team coming back this year, I'm really seeing the potential of this team all because of one man who influences winning more than anybody I see on not more than maybe Steph, Edwards. I'll probably take them. But certainly I would have took him second team over LeBron and Brunson. I would have took him because look at it's not flashy. It's not the shiny toy. It's not the new thing in the mirror. It's just heart, hustle, and inspiring. He passes the ball ahead. Everybody touches the ball. You probably casuals can't even tell me, even though they watched this conference finals, you probably still can't tell me the starting five for Indiana. Like, who?
Yeah.
Nee what?
Yeah.
Nee Smith? Oh, Nimhard? Oh, they play for who? And that's why I say, because it's really Haliburton and a bunch of, to the casual fan, no names, not household names like we know Luka, LeBron, no household names. No disrespect to Indiana, because they're a great team and they're on their way to the finals. But he's easily top 10 for me based on what he's doing. And look at the memorable moments he's had in just this one playoff run. Just this one. I'm going to get back to that later, but I just want y'all to know he's top 10. He's played, people forgot he played on the USA Olympic team. People probably forgot that because we were so wrapped up in the Tatum not playing, Steph with his show he put on, and LeBron. People forgot Haliburton was over there sitting on the bench of the USA team. So my hat's off to him, and people better start recognizing who Tyrese Haliburton is. And if you go to social media, you can see me doing the Hallie today. Check me out on Instagram. All right, you got it.
Look, he wasn't on any of my All-NBA teams. He wasn't in my top 15. This is, to me, is a reflection of just how far he's come in these playoffs, because I'm not going to apologize for the fact that he wasn't in my top 15. Pascal Siakam was, because as far as their season was concerned, Siakam had a bigger influence, had a better season. Haliburton struggled the first half of the year mightily, but he has come on, and he is, I agree with you, he's top 10, and outside of the guys that you mentioned, Jokic and Giannis and SGA, Tatum, Kawhi if he qualified, but like that 6 through 10 range, I think he's in there with Steph or Brunson or KD or Paolo Banchero or Cade Cunningham. Like there's a group there, but I don't know which one of those guys would fall out, but he would not. And I believe, honestly, being on the Olympic team, I think there's a reason that we're seeing this now from him. Being on the Olympic team and not playing, and nobody made a peep about that. Everybody was up in arms about the fact that Tatum didn't play.
Right.
No one had a problem with the fact that Haliburton got no run. And then he's named most overrated player by the players. You can't tell me the combination of those two things that he was, and I know he was. I know he was bothered by the fact that he didn't play on the Olympic team, and nobody thought that there was some injustice there. And then he's named most overrated by his peers. He came into these playoffs with something to prove, and he has proved it.
No, he has. And I know a lot of people look at the regular season a lot of the times to give you the foresight of what a player is going to be. But for me, it's all about the postseason. It really truly is, because the postseason is what defines you as a player. I mean, we really don't talk about guys that have successful regular seasons and do nothing in the playoffs. We don't sit up here and go, wow, that dude's really good. No, when guys come into the postseason, it's when we start having the conversations.
That's when you make your reputation.
That's when you make your reputation. And clearly, since he's been in the postseason multiple times, he's done okay, and he's continuing to get better. But when you talk about the top 10, he surely is in the top 10. I don't know where you put him. I don't know if he's 3 or 6 or 7 or 9 or 10. He's in there somewhere. There's going to be conversations on whether or not a Jalen Brunson belongs versus him. Or Anthony Davis, does he really belong somewhere in there?
And Edwards.
The Ant-Man, I would say he belongs in the top 10.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
Look, I had him in my top 10, but, and we'll get to this, but I think Ant Edwards has taken a hit. The playoffs can go two ways.
Yeah, he's taken
It can make you or it can break you.
He certainly has taken a certain hit, but he's in there. He ain't going nowhere. Because he's done enough in the postseason, I think, to still be sticking around at 23 years old, and we're going to get there about what he's done at such a young age. But Joy, he belongs in the top 10. Overrated, whatever. I mean, players are going to say what they want to say. That's just because they don't like him for some reason. Whatever those percentage of players are, it ain't about his game, because it can't be about his game. It got to be something about his swag or something. It can't be about his game.
I can tell you, one, he plays kind of soft. He's got a goofy jump shot, right? And he struggled mightily at the beginning of this year, and he wasn't a guy that you went to. Like, he was a great distributor guy.
But what does a goofy jump shot got to do with being overrated if it goes in?
Because if we're talking about an elite player, I think guys look at, like, how forceful are you? Are you stepping up when the game is on the line? And what does your game look like? And his game just looks kind of funky. It does.
You've been covering basketball forever.
Yes.
And you know basketball.
Yeah.
Jamal Wilkes.
Yeah.
Now, what type of shot was that?
Okay, but we weren't.
It was effective because he go like this and knock it in.
Understood. But we're talking about, like, when he's on the Olympic team, that was already somebody saying, in some people's minds, you're top 10. And I think players looked at it when he's not a top 10 player. He doesn't deserve to be on that Olympic team over other guys at that time. Now you'd never question it.
Well, that's how quickly things can turn around in the postseason because this is when it matters. I think when you're looking at the totality of the league, I think he's in that 7 to 12 range. But what has gone on in this postseason has changed the course of his career because he's set a new standard for himself with how he's played. Maybe people questioned about whether he should have been on the Olympic team. And clearly his peers thought that he wasn't as good as this. Because it seems to me that the overrated nod is the kiss of death. If you're a hater, don't vote somebody overrated because you got Josh Allen and Haliburton right now making big sillies of your votes because that's not how it was supposed to go if you're overrated. I mean, obviously we're not going to put him in the category of a Jokic or an SGA or Tatum or Luka or Giannis at this point, but what he's doing for the Pacers and the numbers that he's putting up, the consistency, the efficiency, the big moments in the postseason when it matters most, that counts almost for more.
They're Jokic-like. I mean,
Jokic and Oscar Robertson are the only other players to post 30 points, 15 assists, and 10 rebounds in a playoff game. So,
with no turnovers. Think about how fast they play and the fact that he's the point guard and has the ball in his hands the whole time. And he's able to put together a triple-double and not turn the ball over once.
If they go ahead and take care of business and wind up in the finals and then beat whoever they see, whether it's OKC or Minnesota, most likely OKC, and he becomes the MVP, because right now, based on the way he's playing, it certainly looked like if they were to win the finals, he would probably be the MVP, right?
Be the most remarkable thing ever.
When you won the MVP, Paul, how did it change in your eyes? Not necessarily because for me, but just how did it change the way you think you were viewed after you won the MVP?
Well, a lot of people, I was a really good player on bad teams for a long time. Yeah. And, people didn't think that I can be a great player on a great team. Mm-hmm. That was kind of like the perception. Oh, he's only good because his team's not that good. So now when we got better players, I think it started to come to light how good of a player I started to become. So when you were better players, and like you said, this run for him, if they win the championship, this will be one of the greatest NBA runs in history that I would look at in history.
Did you prove something to yourself? Like, because you've never really had the opportunity to be in those big moments on the biggest stage. Did you always feel like, you know what, all I need is the opportunity?
I always felt that. I felt on every level I was on the big stage, even going from high school playing in big tournaments, from Kansas playing on big stages. I always thought I was ready for the big stage. I just didn't have the opportunity. And when I got the opportunity, I was able to seize the moment. And I'm seeing this out of Haliburton right now. He hasn't been on a big stage because he didn't get the minutes for USA team. He's playing for Indiana, who don't get a lot of national televised games. And in my eyes, he's probably the best pure point guard in an era where there aren't pure point guards anymore. Because when you look at the guards that's left, Brunson, SGA, these guys are just elite scorers. Mm-hmm. And so he's bringing the traditional guard back to light and saying, hey, you can win being a pass-first guard, but I can score too, guys. Don't get it twisted. I can put up some numbers, but I can pass and I can make my team better. And if they need me to score, I can. And that's all coming to light for him.
Well, the Knicks kept it close, but only led for 2 minutes in Game 4. Jalen Brunson scored 31 points, and Cat and OG each went for 20. Josh Hart kicked in 12 off the bench, but New York still didn't have enough scoring to keep up with Indiana. We know that teams down 3-1 only win the series 4.4% of the time. Key, what percentage are you giving the Knicks at a comeback?
Why are you looking at me? I could see you on my periphery. Basically, what the line is, the 4.4. That's the percent. They got a 4.4 chance, just like the odds said, of winning. I don't have any faith in them coming back down 1-3 or 3-1, so to speak. Why would I at this point in time? I mean, I gave them an opportunity yesterday to even the score.
You picked them yesterday.
Yeah, to even the score. And so I got some friends flying back actually today for the game tomorrow. I said, y'all going back there for that? Y'all could have just gave the money to charity, because that's exactly what you're getting ready to do. Am I lying, Paul?
Man.
They might as well just have given the money to charity instead of wasting money flying all the way to go see a
Don't look to
game.
me for confirmation on that.
Why?
Because.
Oh, so you think the Knicks still got a shot?
I think they have a chance of winning this game. And
It don't matter. It doesn't matter if they win it. It's all for nothing, because they're going to lose it again when they get back to Indy.
Okay, Mr. Murr.
They're going to lose it again. I hate to be Debbie Downer, but that's the reality of it. And I want the Knicks to win, and I wanted them to win, because I didn't want to see a OKC Indy final, regardless if it's a good matchup or not. It's a sleeper for me. Right?
I'm going to give them a 6.4% chance.
6.4?
I would give them 2%, and then I wasn't aware of the 4.4, the natural 4.4. So I'm going to give them 2% above that, largely because the way they lost this last game was really by their own hand. Like, their turnovers, their shot selection, their missed defense. Like, there's a lot of things that they could correct that if they played up to their ability, even though they were in Indiana, I think they could have won that game. Teams down 3-1 have come back 4.4% of the time. Yes, I know you already said that. Why am I having to read that again? So I'm saying it's 6.4%.
He's adding 2%. All right, Paul.
What percentage chance
What are you
giving?
doing?
There's an ant right here, Joy. What percentage are you giving this ant to live? 0. There's no chance. Look, it's gone. It's gone. Get out of here.
Poor little ant
0
guy.
chance.
There's another
for
little
the
ant
Knicks.
over here. Go.
I'm giving them 0 chance, but I do think they're going to push it to 6.
Yeah.
They might push it to 6.
Yeah.
And if they push it to 6,
Yeah.
you get an injury.
We'll talk
you get an injury. See what happens. Andrew Neesmith can't go.
If the Knicks win this series.
No.
No.
What are you about to say?
Oh, no.
Write it down first.
Write it down first.
Yeah, and run it by
I
us.
need
Run it by us.
Before they
Because
go
we got
out.
a stake in this now.
Don't say it out loud yet.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.